Hello everyone, and here I am today. It's me, Umber Rays, and today we are going to be looking at doing the full thing of the Thunder God himself, Ramuh. And this is a summon you want to get your hands on fairly quickly because 3-star Ramuh is an incredibly strong, and dear God, do I have a lot of SP to spend with him. Holy cow. I should probably do that at some point, but he's a great thing to have for mages, and he does a lot of summon damage. So, here we go. Let's talk about Ramuh. Well, first of all, he's classified as a human, and he has 70 million HP. It sounds scary, but it's really not that bad. Now, with 70 million HP, of course, he is a human, so you can stack human killers on whoever you are bringing to deal damage, and you will do just fine. Now, other than that, his elemental weakness is, of course, water, the opposite of lightning. So if you can bring anyone with water damage, and it just so happens that Titus is a good option if he has his TMR. Excuse me. Or, more recently, Tifa, since Tifa, even at a 6-star, can imbue herself with water element. It's a beautiful thing. Tifa is just made for this trial. And of course, just like anything, well, okay, first of all, he's not immune, or he is fully immune to status ailments, as well as he cannot be broken for attack and spirit, unlike Shiva. So this makes the breaking attack idea that we used in the Shiva video not possible, which kind of sucks, but it does mean that you can break him for defense if you wanted, so there you go, you have something to look forward to. Other than that, Ramuh's skills are as follows. He has a single target 100% defense up for 3 turns on himself. Just trying to make that physical damage just a little more difficult to do. I guess Lulu would be a good option. Anyway, I'm getting off track. He has a 500% AoE thunder magic damage, a 1000 AoE thunder magic damage that also does a 120% AoE thunder imperil for 3 turns, a AoE blind status effect, an AoE paralyzed status effect, with a debuff of 100% to thunder resistance for 3 turns, single target 100% magic tech as an MP drain, so he will MP drain, but it'll only be on 1 person. He also does a single target 500% thunder damage magic attack, so he basically does magic damage, magic damage, magic damage, and he has some single target physical damage as well, but not as much as Shiva. Shiva had some more physical damage abilities, so Ramuh is basically magic. So you can guess what the big thing we need is for this, and that is your magic tank, your helpful, friendly magic tank, and you want to be stacking as much thunder resistance as you can. It's the only element that matters in this fight. So, now here's the important thing. Shiva could debuff for 150% ice magic, but Ramuh can only debuff your party for 100%. So long as you're over 200% thunder resistance, he can't do anything to you. All of his magic attacks will literally do nothing. Your magic tank will soak them all up. You'll be perfectly fine. The other thing you want to make sure, though, is you have paralyzed resistance on whoever your tanks are. Now, of course, you can also use a physical draw tank to try and soak up any of the physical damage if you are looking for a, well, Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light, Warrior of Light. Enhance him, Warrior of Light. And also making him a dodge tank will just generally help him be fine. But, of course, we have Gladio, so we're not super worried. Point is, you want, if you can, get a draw tank as well as magic tank. You will be perfectly fine in these fights. That's not what I wanted to look at. Now, Tifa here is the important thing, as I said. Our Tifa is obviously stacked to the roof, because why not have a little bit of fun, as I always say. Or I'm starting to say. But her ability to basically give herself water element on her attacks just makes her incredible for this fight. Plus we can debuff defense. We're not going to, but we could. Ignis for buffing, and that reminds me, I just need to quickly throw Golem, Gladio, there we go. And whoever your healer is of choice, it doesn't really matter. Now, obviously, if you can't quite stack that much elemental resistance, get as close as you can and use someone to buff the rest. Of course, I mentioned in the last video units, cheaper units that could do a lot of thunder or elemental resistance, like Garnet, Yuna, Vina, Marie, Riku, or Cloud of Darkness if you're really, really broke on it, but maybe you want to wait and get something better. And of course, a powerful friend will always help. Now, I haven't talked about this yet, but what are the trial tasks? Well, first of all, no items. This is a little bit tricky because Ramuh has MP drain. So if you can, doing 2 runs of this is okay. One blasting him down to get the 4-star ticket, 1 just to get the second time doing slower, where you can use items like elixirs to regenerate MP if you don't just have MP regeneration somewhere in your team. Then you can get the 5% trust Moogle by just summoning Siren and taking a slower time. As always, the 5 party members, don't ever do that. Don't do it, guys. Just do a Chocobo exploration. Hey, you did it. 12 hours. Save yourself a ton of grief. And of course, you need Ramuh at 2 stars and fully leveled, and the Illusion Stone before you can take on this fight. Now, the only other thing to really note, and I made mention of this in the Shiva video, but here it's way more important. Ramuh's 1000 AoE thunder magic damage also puts the thunder element on your entire party, meaning that you will heal him unless you have a way of dispelling your party of the thunder buff. So, on CG Fina, who has barely any attack, but it doesn't matter, we have Bushido Freedom from the Gilgamesh trial, which you should have by now. If not, go get it. It's not that hard. Gilgamesh is kind of easy. But you want to have this on your weakest party member, just so that they can target your own party and essentially remove the thunder element. Otherwise, you might be healing him. Of course, if you're bringing magic damage dealers such as Lulu, or can't think of who else has Flood, but anyone who has water magic damage, then the thunder element doesn't matter quite so much, as it won't affect your spells. So here we go, in we go. I apparently have 39 of the illusion items. Holy crap. And a wonderful intro animation, and away we go. So again, as with all of these fights, basically the important thing is managing. Now, Gladio doesn't have any natural provoke, so we're using Golem to make him a physical target. He should be fine. As for this guy, well, the only thing he really needs to do for us is magic protection. Other than that, we should be fine. And we will use Ignis to buff us, just in case anything does happen, with a little bit of MP regen. Now, this won't super matter, because I do believe on his first turn he will Thunder Imbue us. I could be wrong. Has been a while since I've done this. Here we will just make her put on some elemental resistance. Why not? As you can see, Tifa's doing some work. So he paralyzed us, but the only two party members, and this is why I said, bring paralyze resistance. The other thing, did he do anything else to us? He thunder debuffed us. Yeah, not that bad of a first turn. So with CG Fina or any healer, basically we can just cast Isuna, cast a spell. Now, he did regain his water resistance, but it's okay. He's not going to be using it. And it does occur to me that we did hit the 80% trigger, which is why he did his Thunder debuff. His Thunder debuff is his counter, where he tries to paralyze everyone and debuffs your Thunder resistance for 3 turns of 100% every time you hit one of the 20% up to 40% triggers. So to really ruin his day, we're going to put on some status effect debuffing. And we'll just make Gladio do that. He has nothing else to do. And the last thing, we will get some mixing going. Meanwhile, Tifa's can just... But as you can see, we're actually hitting the 20% fairly easily. Okay, there's his Thunder, but we have enough Thunder resistance that it's not scary. It's not even a little bit scary. So we'll show the scarier part of this fight in a second. First, we are going to just dispel, throw on that because, well, we have nothing really better to do. Put that on, put some MP regen on, reload our Tifas, recast our magic protection, recast our provoke, although it doesn't seem to be mattering too much. Now this is when Ramuh gets a little bit angry, when you get him below 40%. He starts using a few extra attacks, which, okay, here, not the scariest thing. So when he is under a certain amount, that's when he starts firing off 500% AoE thunder magic damage, but again, a magic tank with enough resistance won't be a problem. I mean, really, it's not going to be a problem. Now the only thing is we haven't seen his thunder buffing yet, which is kind of disappointing. I was hoping it would show up. But as you can see, we have this fight pretty much in the bag. So long, as with any of the fights, so long as you're keeping up your elemental resistance, and heck, I'm even going to give him a free turn because I'm such a nice guy. Just to show what the amount of damage he can do with you having enough buffing and elemental resistance on your party and everything. CG Fina, you do nothing. You just sit there. Look pretty. You can see he has his defense buff up, which is fine. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed he never used his thunder imbuing, but this is what you would do if he did. Basically, you choose this ability, click on any of your units and click this button. This will self-target. You can do a very tiny amount of damage, remove any of the thunder element that got put on your party, and then just continue beating the hell out of him. Just make sure that you recast all of your party's defenses, otherwise you're in for a rough turn. You want to keep magic defense up. I mean, that was pretty good, Tifa. Not quite there, but... Okay, well, we'll do one more turn. Why not? Throw that up. So he can't paralyze anyone. Ignis can't do anything this turn. It's fine. We'll just use CG Fina. I got a little overconfident there. So there you go. There was the MP drain. It was strong enough to even take out this guy with all of his MP with 1500. This is why you should probably try bursting him down one time, and then the second time just work on taking the slow route, where you can use elixirs. You're really in no hurry. Now I'm just going to make sure... No, he really didn't care to try and use his special ability. Okay. Tifa just happens to be quite strong. But honestly, it is a completely manageable fight so long as you keep up your elemental resistance and you make sure you are not getting paralyzed. Other than that, it's really just about... Oh, that's nice. It's really just about making sure that you remove the thunder element from your physical attackers, if you're even bringing physical attackers. Of course, Tifa here quite honestly showed that she ain't scared of no Ramuh. So that's all for this video. In the next time, quite possibly, I don't remember who we will be going through next, but be sure that we will cover it, and I promise that well, okay. Kind of difficult to make that promise right now, but I will try and make sure that the next set of summon videos goes up sooner. So until then, thank you for watching. Hope this has been helpful. See you all in the next summon guide. Till then, guys, you can do it. Trust me, it's not that bad.